have been called in. Meteorologist Steve Stewart has been tracking Irma from the beginning. He has the very latest on how soon the U.S. could feel Irma's wrath. Hey, Steve.
Oh, hey there. Very much. Listen, this is going to be a powerhouse of a storm. Already some outer bands hitting Miami this morning or just south of their Homestead out towards the Keys. And this storm is now grazing right around Cuba. That's why it's weakened again. You can see half of the storm there over landmass, and that's why we're seeing it get a little bit weaker. There's the eye, but it's just skirting the coast right now, and this is mountainous here. It's disrupting the flow a little bit, so it has gotten just a little bit weaker, down to a Category 4, still an absolute monster of a storm. And there you see some of those outer bands just south of Miami. Had some wind gusts reported here of around 55 miles an hour already. These are just the outer bands, the initial bands there, starting to move across the Keys. Meantime, the path of the storm has shifted farther to the west again, right up by near Fort Myers, potentially really dangerously close to Tampa, and then up the western coast there of Florida. And then notice the bend. It continues bending farther away from us and stays south of Atlanta now. Yesterday, the path was closer to Atlanta, farther south and farther west, a long ways away from us. Power outage index then, off to the extreme category. Basically, the entire state is expected to be losing power, and it could be without power for a long time. And you can see that shifts farther north, and even some of our southern counties in the low category for power outages. Better chance out towards the mountains, we think, is the winds are going to be stronger there. The winds will be interacting with a high pressure to the north, and that tight gradient will kick our wind up. We could have gusts around 40 miles an hour, but that's about it. Meantime, this is a storm surge graphic, and it's not going to be as bad on the East Coast as it will on the West Coast, where it's going to be greater than 9 foot. I mean, we're talking 9, 10, 11 foot, and that's going to be all along here from Marco Island, pushing right up, potentially into Fort Myers, causing significant flooding along the coastline. That's going to be the major issue with this storm, plus all the rain as well. Predictor forecast model shows the center of circulation getting really close to Key West. That's going to be tomorrow morning at around 10 a.m. And notice it could continue moving right along this path, moving into the Fort Myers area. Even though it's a ways away from Miami, they're going to get significant effects there, too. They'll have storm surge issues. They're going to have winds gusting to over 100 miles an hour, and the heavy rain's going to be with this storm as well. Hopefully, if it picks up speed, we're not going to be talking about a Harvey with a stalled system, but still 10 to 15 inches, a pretty good bet. So what to expect for us? Late Monday into early Tuesday, rain 1 to 2 inches. Gusts could be as high as 40. Few power outages, mainly in our southern and southwestern counties. And I can't rule out an isolated tornado, but we're so far away from the center of circulation. Impacts for us will be minimal. Meantime, live look downtown. Another beautiful